Good evening, everyone, to our village board meeting, Monday, July 6th, 2026 at 5:30 p.m. Can everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Have a seat, please. Roll call. Trustee Alpert.
Present.
Deputy Mayor Corrigan.
Present.
Trustee Hogue.
Present.
And Trustee Osborn.
Present.
Mayor Curley present. We have an upcoming meeting scheduled for Monday, August 3rd, 2026 at 5:30 p.m. And we have a regular meeting scheduled for Monday, September 14th, 2026 at 5:30 p.m. The meeting on the 14th has changed due to Labor Day. A motion approving June 1, 2026 Board of Trustee meeting minutes, please. Motion, please.
Trustee Hogue.
Motion made by Trustee Hogue. Can I get a second, please?
Trustee Corrigan.
Second made by Trustee Corrigan. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Can I have a motion approving the June 12, 2026 Board of Trustees special meeting minutes, please? Motion, please.
Trustee Osborn.
Motion made by Trustee Osborn. Can I get a second, please?
Second, Trustee Alpert.
Second made by Trustee Osborn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. At this time, I would like to set a public hearing for August 3rd at 5:35 p.m. on a proposed local law amending Chapter 266 of the Code of Village of Suffern, the zoning law prohibiting massage parlors in the village of Suffern. Can I please have a motion, please?
Motion, Trustee Alpert.
Motion made by Trustee Alpert. Can I get a second, please?
Second, Trustee Hogue.
Second made by Trustee Hogue. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. I'd also like to set a public hearing on a proposed law amending the code of the Village of Suffern by adding a new chapter, Chapter 83, entitled Bicycle, Skates, Skateboards, and Scooter. And that'd be for August 3rd also at 5:40 p.m. Can I have a motion, please?
Trustee Corrigan.
Motion made by Trustee Corrigan. Can I get a second, please?
Trustee Osborn.
Trustee, no, can I get a motion? A motion by, motion made by Trustee
Yes.
Corrigan and seconded by Trustee Osborn. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. At this time, I'd like to open up a public hearing on Section 266.51 of Chapter 266 of the Code of Village of Suffern, the zoning law, by revising the fines for certain violations of the zoning law. What this is about, commercial vehicles and residential zones, and about raising the fine. So what we actually be doing is taking the hands out of the judge to have a minimal or no fine, and making it a minimal fine of the $1,000 for first offense, and then so forth and so forth, where the fine gets raised per time you do it. For the second offense, $2,000, no more than $10,000, and a third offense, $3,000, no more than $10,000. So we're trying to get people to follow the law, respect the residential neighborhoods, and respect our neighbor. So at this time, motion opening up that public hearing.
Motion, Trustee
Motion
Alpert.
made by Trustee Alpert. Can I get a second, please?
Second, Trustee Hogue.
Second made by Trustee Hogue. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. At this time, does anyone has any comments? Feel free to come up and speak about it. Okay. Okay, being there's none, at this point, I would like to close the public hearing. Got a motion, closing the public hearing, please?
Trustee Corrigan.
Motion made by Trustee Corrigan. Can I get a second, please?
Trustee Osborn.
Second made by Trustee Osborn. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. At this time, I would like to make a motion approving law amending Section 266-51 of Chapter 266 of the Code of Village of Suffern, the zoning local law, by revising the fines for certain violations of zoning law. Motion, please.
Motion, Trustee Alpert.
Motion made by Trustee Alpert. Can I get a second, please?
Second, Trustee Hogue.
Second made by Trustee Hogue. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Fire Department, please.
Good evening, Mayor and Village Board. I just have one item on the agenda tonight, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with the Borough of Ramsey on for reciprocating mutual aid for each municipality's fire department.
That's what we do, is it's like a mutual aid program where what we do is they help us, we help them, and we work well with these local other municipalities, even on the New Jersey side. So a motion authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with the Borough of Ramsey for reciprocal mutual aid by each municipality's fire department. Motion, please.
Trustee
Motion
Corrigan.
made by trustee Corrigan. Can I get a second, please?
Second, Trustee
Second made
Hogue.
by trustee Hogue. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you,
very
Chief.
much.
Thank you for a good job. I know you're out at night there, and trees and gas leaks and everything else, so we appreciate it. Thank you, sir, and tell your troops thank you, okay? At this point, I'd like to have a motion, open up public comment, please. Motion, please.
Motion, Trustee
Motion
Alpert.
made by trustee Alpert. Can I get a second, please?
Trustee Corrigan.
Second made by trustee Corrigan. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. At this point, if the public has anything to say, please come up. Any comments?
Hello, my name is Michael Abramo. I live at 30 Pavilion Road in Suffern.
Michael, with all respect, just pull it a little closer to you. It's easier when
Sure
you have
thing.
to write
Yep.
it up in the video.
Absolutely. Yep. Firstly, for the resolution for bicycles, skates, and skateboards, I'm just unclear. I see that you're proposing a new chapter. I'm unclear on the content of the chapter, or where to find the.
We're gonna that'll be on the website.
Okay.
For you to look at it, and you can do it. It has to do with bicycles. Actually, the chief of police is going to talk about it in a minute.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
So, if you recall, last month I was here about crosswalks on 202 by Pavilion Road. And I contacted the New York DOT, haven't received a response yet. I have contacted them in the past and, simply we have no current plans to do anything with that road. Fine. But I do think that there is a necessity for crosswalks at Pavilion Road, where the intersection of Pavilion Road and 202 is, as well as a crosswalk placed somewhere near the pool in the park. The Wayne Avenue project just got approved, fine. But there's no current crosswalk. I think that there's supposed to be one that they're going to add there, but I'm not up to date on what they're actually doing. If they're actually going to do a crosswalk, regardless, I think we do need 2 or 3 there. There's no sidewalk on the side of the road with Berkeley Square and Pavilion Road. So it's just, as you know, a high traffic area, high volume of cars that may or may not respect the speed limit. And I commute every day, almost every day, from Pavilion Road. I see a number of other people doing the same thing. I think it's important that we have crosswalks, and I do think that if we are able to get something from the state that says we can do it, even if there's money somewhere, we should do, if possible, a raised crosswalk, at least one raised crosswalk, as a traffic calming measure. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. At this point, is there anyone else like to make any comments? Being there none, can I have a motion, please? Closing the public comment, please.
Trustee Corrigan.
Motion made by trustee Corrigan. Can I get a second, please?
Trustee Osborn.
Second made by trustee Osborn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Police department, please.
Good evening, everyone. In the month of June, we, with our police department, responded to exactly 1,000 calls for service. As the mayor mentioned, I just wanted to talk to the board a little bit about e-bikes and e-scooters. I'm sure it's on everyone's radar. It's becoming a big problem throughout the U.S. in general. So obviously, over the past several months, the police department's observed a significant increase in the use of e-bikes and e-scooters throughout the village. While these devices provide residents with a convenient means of transportation, their increased popularity has also resulted in a growing number of safety concerns, citizen complaints, and violations of a New York State vehicle and traffic law. Our department has received complaints regarding the operation of these devices on sidewalks, excessive speeds in congested pedestrian areas, riders operating without the required safety equipment, underage operation, and other unsafe behaviors that put riders and pedestrians in jeopardy. Officers have also encountered instances where operators and parents were simply unaware of the laws governing e-bikes and e-scooter operation, which is a big problem, obviously. Recognizing that education is the first step towards achieving compliance, our department recently developed and distributed educational literature to residents explaining the applicable New York State laws governing the operation of e-bikes and e-scooters. I gave everybody a copy of it if you haven't seen it yet, if you want to take a minute just to go over what went out to the public. The informational materials outline topics including the classification of e-bikes, age requirements, helmet requirements, where these devices may be legally operated, and important safety recommendations. The department's objective is to ensure that residents understand their responsibility before enforcement action becomes necessary. In conjunction with these educational efforts, the police department has increased educational initiatives throughout the village. Officers have been conducting directed patrols in areas where complaints are most prevalent and have been educating riders on what is permitted by law and what is not permitted. The police department will be taking appropriate enforcement actions when violations are observed. These enforcement efforts are intended not only to address hazardous behavior, but also to reinforce the educational message that has been provided to the community. Obviously, our goal is to achieve voluntary compliance through a balanced approach of education and enforcement. By informing the residents of the applicable laws while maintaining a visible enforcement presence, we're hopeful that operators will make safer decisions, resulting in fewer violations, fewer complaints, and a safer environment for motorists, pedestrians, and riders alike. Additionally, as the mayor mentioned earlier in the meeting, we've been working with the mayor and the village attorney to develop a proposed local law addressing the operation of e-bikes and e-scooters within the village. While the New York State law establishes general framework regarding these devices, regulating these devices, municipalities are authorized to adopt certain local regulations to address community-specific concerns. The proposed legislation is intended to enhance public safety by establishing clear local operating standards, addressing areas of concern identified by residents and the police department, and providing officers with additional enforcement tools where authorized by law. Obviously, once the final, as the mayor mentioned, once the final draft of the proposed local law has been completed and reviewed, it will be presented to the village board, and as the mayor mentioned, it will be posted for the public. So that's where we're at right now with this issue. I look forward to working with the mayor, the village attorney, and the board as we continue to try to address this evolving issue.
Thank you. As the chief knows, I've had meetings with him. He's also been with Terry Rice, our attorney, substantial conversations there, and the chief's done a good job putting something together. He actually went to a conference in reference to this, and he also sent about 4 officers some other bike training courses. So we were going to have a little rodeo, but we didn't want all these kids driving down illegally to it. So
yeah, believe it or not, you have to be 16 years old to ride those, which I didn't even know prior.
And you have to have a helmet on.
16 and 17-year-olds must, by state law, wear a helmet.
Required to have helmet.
What about the passenger?
If they're of that age, well, most of them you're not even allowed to have a passenger.
I know, that was my point.
Yeah.
So it's actually a very, as you can see, the materials here, it's a very complicated, and we also sent it out to the school system before the school system ended. The chief actually talked to the Ramapo chief too and said, listen, we want to put them all through, and the chief was happy because as the Suffern has this situation, Ramapo has this situation, Mawa has this situation, Ramsey has
Education
this.
seems to be the biggest concern for this because, like I said, when my son was younger, I didn't even realize you had to be 16. He doesn't have one, I will say, but right. I didn't even know that it was, it's so complex and complicated. You almost have to be an electrical engineer to figure out what e-bike you're riding. So it's very complicated, and we're hoping this local law will make things more clear to the public.
A lot of this not just to educate the kids, but the parents. That's where it comes down to. And we will be, at some point, confiscating these things, and that's going to be part of this law, to confiscate it. And when we'll figure out if the parents can come back and get them, how we're going to do it. But it's just too dangerous. It's getting too dangerous on the sidewalks and on the streets. But our law doesn't really... The state isn't great on the law, and our law doesn't, so we're trying to upgrade, make it the best law, because I think it's Suffolk County, isn't it, Andy?
Suffolk County did a model law a while back that...
Yeah, and we're looking at those laws and other laws around, but Suffolk County seems to have a very good one, and actually an expert who actually teaches this throughout the state, which Andy had the pleasure of meeting and learning from. So we got to take that education and share it with our residents through education at first and then enforcement secondarily. So I want the public to know that this is a priority, it's a top priority, and we will even have details on it once we get this law passed, where the police are actually, on the streets, just like in the top of town or different neighborhoods, just getting them on that, okay? Besides, people in general that speed, these are always problems that we have, So it's just that's another layer, and even in my eyes, from what I've seen, being a businessman downtown, just how much has increased in the last year is incredible. Over 3 or 4 years ago. Last year, it's really taken off. If the Jones had it, the Smiths had to have it. You know what I mean? That type of thing. So, or you wanted the best Michael Jordan sneaker. You know what I mean? That type of thing. So,
Well, it's the argument I think that all kids have. Oh, my friend has one. Why can't I have one? Well, your friend probably doesn't know he's not supposed to have it.
yeah, true.
I have a question, actually, on the stuff that's not legal, period. So certainly not legal on a road, but let's say some kid, when I say kid, I mean, maybe it's a 15, 16-year-old, let's say 16, so it's the right age, has one of these like unicycles or something like that and uses it in a park, not on the street, but in a park. Is that legal?
So that is all going to be controlled by local law. That's really up to the board how they want to handle that. The local law gives the ability to limit parks, to limit, right now under the state law, you cannot ride them on the sidewalk.
Right.
Municipalities can do different things with that, but right now under state law, there would be no prohibition against them riding in the park. That would be up to the board to decide that in a local law.
Right.
But on the roadways, they're not legal.
And that's what we're doing. We won't, until we get, public, the information we're learning, put it together with public comment. That's why we're setting a public hearing, and we'll put the information we have out on the website so people can review it. And then if the public has certain comments, we'll listen to it, and we think it's appropriate, or if it's legal, that's how we'll run it. But there's been a fair share, a lot of work on this, to tell you the truth, with this pamphlet, and it's something that this is the beautiful pamphlet we sent to the school system, huh?
Yeah, it's really nice.
So it's, a few pages.
We're just trying to make it clear to people what is allowed and what is not allowed. Because like I said, if you try to read the vehicle and traffic law, you almost have to be an electrical engineer to figure out what you're riding.
Thank you very much, Andy.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Chief. Thank you.
Charles Sawicki, please.
Almost gotten killed 10 times.
Good evening. Item A, motion requesting authorization to solicit bids for the roadway improvements Phase 16 project.
Can I have a motion requesting authorization to solicit bids for the roadway improvement Phase 16 project with a due date of July 29, 2026 at 2:30 p.m. Motion, please.
Trustee Corrigan.
Motion made by Trustee Corrigan. Can I get a second, please?
Second, Trustee Hogue.
Second made by Trustee Hogue. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Okay, thank
I'll
you.
just do the next one, Charles. Requesting authorization to solicit bids for the 2026 right-of-way improvement project with a due date of July 29, 2026 at 3 p.m., okay? That's more like curbs and sidewalks if we're doing any. Motion, please.
Trustee Osborn.
Motion made by Trustee Osborn. Can I get a second, please?
Second, Trustee
Second
Alpert.
made by Trustee Albert. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Requesting authorization to solicit bids for the Business District Lighting Improvement Project with a due date of July 29, 2026 at 2 p.m. That's in reference to us where we're going to be doing the whole, and this will be on the website too. This is the lighting project that we're going to be doing the whole straight up downtown. Part of the light will be facing on the street, and the other part of the light, a lower level, lighting fixture will be painted towards the sidewalk. We brought in an expert here. I was with him, that came in during the night. We had to close down Lafayette Avenue a little bit so we could improve the lighting there. So we're going with the electrical engineers, and we're going to have to do a full phase electrical thing on it also. So it's a big project, but it's a very important project to improve the downtown. Okay, and then okay, so motion please for bids for the Business District Lighting Improvement Project.
Motion, trustee Alpert.
Motion made by trustee Albert. May I have a second, please?
Second, trustee
Second made
Hogue.
by trustee, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay. And then we have a resolution approving the release of 4-2 logistic tree replacement bond. That is, IV2 logistic tree replacement bond. That is Novartis. They did all their responsibilities replacing their trees, so we give them their bond back now. Can I get a motion, please, on that?
Trustee Corrigan.
Motion made by trustee Corrigan. Can I get a second, please?
Trustee Osborn.
Second made by trustee Osborn. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much, Charles, okay?
Okay.
So,
Wasn't sure if you wanted me to update the board on that lighting situation.
yeah, go ahead, yes.
Yeah, so the mayor had reached out to me to follow up to see what the issues were at the underpass at Route 202, Wayne Avenue and Washington Avenue. And I reached out to Orange and Rockland. They have ownership of what we call wall mount lighting that's on the abutment. And then the Thruway has ownership of the lighting that's on the underside of the decking. So both of them, I've reached out to both of them, the Thruway Authority's contractor, and they're going to be addressing that lighing issue. So,
We just feel that when we've got to them, but as time goes on, they've taken more and more light away down there as they're doing their work, as they're fixing the bridge. So we said we don't want to wait until the project's done with it. We need some temporary lighting now to make it more visible for the drivers. Thank you very much,
Okay.
Charles.
Thanks, Charles.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone have any reason for executive session? No, okay. Trustees, any comments on anything?
Yeah. So I've had several neighbors come to me about my neighbors, quite frankly, that are not maintaining their lawn. And I know that some of these lawns have been reported on the village website. And in one case, the owner took care of it once and really hasn't since. In another case, I know for a fact it was reported 2 weeks ago and no effort has been made, and it's just getting worse and worse. And I'm not sure if the particular offenders have been warned through our new program, or if they're just ignoring or thumbing their nose to it. But I think we have to make sure that people maintain their property correctly. Otherwise, the village is going to become a slum.
And Steve, just real quick, I've had similar things in the past. What I've done is I've actually called the building department myself.
Yeah.
I said, can you please follow up and give me a status update?
Okay.
I think that's what I would suggest to you.
Okay, I will do that.
Because they honestly did every time that I said they did take care of it. And they were legit complaints. People, Steve, you understand about that? My neighbors talking,
Yeah.
walking downtown, people ask me. But I think if you call and make a follow-up call and just ask for a status report in a few days,
Yeah.
I think you're going to find it
With all
probably did
respect, too, he
notify.
can call me too.
I know that,
I
yes.
answer him constantly, okay?
Okay.
And you haven't called me on these.
No, I have not.
Okay, so
That's
that's,
why I'm just
that to
bringing
me
it-
is irresponsible.
I know that they've been
I would
reported.
tell you,
That's the end of
residents
it.
do it every day.
Okay.
And you're a trustee.
Yeah.
Okay, do you know what the procedure is? You know how it works?
Yeah.
You've been a trustee for years. Tell me how it works.
What are you talking
Well,
about?
tell me what it works. Somebody calls in a complaint. Tell me how it works.
I know it goes straight to you.
No, yes. Who
and-
else?
And it goes,
Okay, the new
goes to
system
zoning.
is, Steve, it goes to the code enforcement.
yeah,
And myself.
yeah.
Okay? But what is the procedure? What else happens now?
They get a warning.
Okay.
And if they don't take care of it, I
Not
think they get a
necessarily,
penalty.
no, if they're gonna do it, otherwise they get what we call a notice of violation.
Yeah.
Okay? So you get, then what happens next?
If they don't maintain it, if they don't take care of it within a certain amount of time, they get a fine.
Incorrect, Steve.
Okay.
See, that's why you should talk to me, okay?
Okay.
What you do then is you get a court appearance ticket, Steve.
Okay.
You've been a trustee for years, okay? You get a court appearance ticket then. And then it's in the hands of the court. So then the court would then, they would give them a court. Now that court appearance could be 2 weeks, 3 weeks, however the court goes.
Yeah.
Now let's say the guy goes to court and he says, geez, I don't have a lawyer, I need a lawyer.
Yeah.
Then under the law, the judge got to say, come back with a lawyer. So it could take weeks and months.
Okay.
okay? And we have, and by the law of the state of New York, there is nothing that we can do.
I see.
Okay? So that's how it works. If you can get the person to do it, great. And I'll tell you, most of the time they do.
Yeah.
Okay? But that's why, if you notice, we increased all these fines tremendously. Okay? And I thought of that. Didn't come from you. You never discussed it with me. That all came from me.
Yeah.
Okay? Every bit of it came from me,
Yeah.
to be honest with you. This other new one we're doing now, we just did tonight, where I'm making the vehicles, came from me. Okay? So if you don't know, Steve, it's okay to say you don't know, but you ask me then, okay? Because residents do it every single day. So that's the procedure, okay? We'll ask them to do it. If not, they get a notice of violation, they get so many days. Then, if they don't do it, then what we do is we give them a court appearance ticket, and they go in front of the judge. So what we did now, Steve, is we made those court appearance tickets as fines of $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, up to $10,000, where before, if you go back to the meetings, you would hear me say this. It would have been they just hit the hammer and they could say $50.
Yeah.
We took the power away from, I told the judge, say Curley did it. Blame me. Say, I have to give you this fine because Mayor Curley chose to do this. And I did choose to do it. Okay? And you agreed with me. So it's right. So it's in place, Steve. But if we go and someone has a lawn that's too high, if they have this, okay, they can just not do it, and it could take us weeks and months, and I can't do anything because of the court system of the state of New York.
Okay.
But most of the time they listen. Yeah. But what we've done now is make it thousands of, so it's come so costly that they want to do it, Steve.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
So the code enforcers have given 600, 700 violations already this year, okay? They're out there. Now, if you had a specific address, if you would have asked me, I could go look.
Okay.
A matter of fact, I have Mr. Simon that actually keeping a chart of each one that's addressed.
Okay.
Okay? And we're about, about 2 weeks up to there right now. So there are things, but ask me. Okay? Do you sit here up here as a trustee? To me, it's foolish. You should know ahead of time before you even get to this desk. It's the people out here that may not know. It's about, sometimes, a teacher always says in class when you go to school when you're younger, they said, no question is dumb, okay? So ask me, because I'm not afraid to answer it, okay? Just like this light project, that came from me. Just like the paddle boats, it came from me. Just like the free boats, the free pool, it came from me. I'll keep going on and on. Anyway, let's go next. Trustees, anyone else? Any trustees?
Mr. Mayor, I just want to thank Chief Loughlin. Thank you for that update on the e-bikes and the motorized bikes. We all, I know I do, and I hear it, and I'm sure we probably all do. Just complaints about the underage or driving in the street, almost seeing people, cars. Just thanks for addressing it, and I appreciate your department. I know you guys are doing the best you can with it. And Mayor, I got to thank you also. I was going to bring it up, talking about paddle boats and the lights, because the lighting is something that need to be addressed for years. Thanks for taking control of it. And the paddle boats have been a tremendous success from everybody that I've spoken that used them. So thank you.
Thank you.
I also have to say that I've been helping the recreation department with the registration for the pools, and everybody has been generally excited, and a lot of people have been coming to register, and I've seen a lot of the people at the pool who are having fun. And a lot of Danny's friends are also enjoying the paddle boats. So.
Yeah, good, very good. Good. All good.
It's all good.
All right. Okay, at this time, I'd like to have a motion to appoint Larry McManus as a code enforcement officer part-time for the village of Suffern, please. Motion, please.
Trustee Corrigan.
Motion made by Trustee Clarke. I got a second, please?
Second, Trustee Hogue.
Second made by Trustee Hogue. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. As far as someone had mentioned about the gentleman had mentioned the crosswalk, we have actually been in contact with the state of New York in reference to putting a crosswalk. And this is a little while back. So with the DOT, actually a crosswalk, it actually came to me from the Rockledge neighborhood a while back, and what they want to do, a crosswalk, but that crosswalk would be more centered. That crosswalk would be more centered towards Berkeley Square Apartments over to Memorial Drive. So we are in the works. Will they give us multiple crosswalks? I personally don't see them doing it. No, I don't see them ever doing that. So I see them. I see maybe getting one there, because that's what we're trying for as we're working with the, again, that's a DOT road. They do have, certain powers, and then they know they have certain powers. They exercise them. So we are working on that, and we'll keep that in mind. And we, again, working on, we want better lighting underneath the bridge, and actually want some sidewalks done on that side, where they are, on that side fixed, when they're done with this DOT bridge project, huh? And actually, I'm not happy with the Washington Avenue part of, the Washington Avenue part where it hits 202, because it seems that it needs some work done there and paving too. If I can't get the state to do it, we will be doing it ourselves. But that is our road, not their road, but I may be able to, because all the heavy equipment and things, to try to get them to do it for us, but I'm not sure of that. Like I said, Clarke's right, the paddle boats are a complete success. I'm happy that we're able to, this board voted to give these residents the pool access to it, and it's tough times out there. Gas prices are high, electric prices are high, insurance prices are high, and I think the people needed a break. So we're happy with that. It looks good. The DPW did an excellent job getting it set up with the docks with me. Okay, I was out there many times with them, but they were the hard workers, and I thank them for that. And I guess that's at this point. I don't think I have anything else. Anyone else? Okay, at this point, being there's nothing else, can I have a motion to close the hearing, please?
Trustee Corrigan.
Meeting, a motion made by Trustee Corrigan to close the meeting. Can I get a second, please?
Trustee Osborn.
Second made by Trustee Osborn. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, folks. Have a great day.